In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a cone like this cone in Minecraft, which is shockingly easier than the enormous command block building you're probably picturing. In fact, I didn't use any manual building to make this. I used only commands. I didn't even place a single block on here, which shows how effective this method is. So let's look at what's actually going on here. So here we have a repeater clock. At the same time the repeater clock starts working, we'll spawn an armor stand. I'll put this exact command in the description. What's going to happen is that this repeating command block, which can always be enabled, is going to be responsible for setting whatever block you want at the location of the armor stand. This one, which is also always going to be enabled, is going to be responsible for making the armor stand TP relatively its z-axis, because it's facing downwards like this. Its head is pointed down at a 60-degree angle. That'll cause it to move down at the slant of the cone rather than straight to the side. The reason why this is here is this does two things. First, it resets the position of the stand to where it's supposed to be every time it completes a cycle. So the length of your cycle is dependent on how long this redstone clock is, and when that cycle is finished, every time it's finished, it'll get teleported back up to the top. And then the chain, what the chained on one does is this gives it a 2-degree rotation, and you'll see in a second what I mean. So if I press the starting button and I go up, what you can see happening is that the armor stand, where I have the bounding boxes turned on so you can see the direction it's facing, is going in a line, and every time it gets teleported back up to the top, it rotates a little, which after quite a long time causes a cone to be formed. Also, if you want to know how to show the hitboxes, what you have to do is you have to hold FN plus F3, let go of FN, and then tap B. Add some cool looking noise effect to the surface using a feature in structure blocks called integrity. So if I go into each of these that are set to corner, so if I set it to corner, one block outside in every direction from the box that needs to be selected, I'm going to set these to corner. I can do what's called the save function. I'm going to detect its position, make sure that it's in the bounds, which it is, and hit save. So if I set a block here to place the structure block, switch it to load mode, type in the actual name of the object. So if I want partial integrity, I can change this value to 0.5. So when I press load, now it's very noisy. So I've just cloned this structure over here, and I'm gonna use clone. Okay, now that I've picked the corners here, I'm gonna use a fill command to change this to andesite. So with /fill, andesite, replace the stone. So what I need to do is I need to find the bottom northwest corner of this other spot, which in this case is here. And I'm going to use the clone command to clone it to this specific location, ideally filtering the andesite. And if I do that, now I've created some noise. I actually went through a lot of different mixes, and this is what I ended up settling on. Looks kind of like, I don't know, a Disneyland castle roof or something like that. It looks pretty cool. But yeah, this is probably the smoothest and most effective way to create a cone. It does take a very long time, but it looks organic and hand-built, like the kind of thing someone who actually knows how to build and make. And I also find the process of making it to be very neat.